How's it going, everybody? I'm Justin,
I'm Jody.
and we are Board Game Perspective, and today we are taking a look at Bravo from Stronghold Games, where we are rolling, writing, and bombing. So, Bravo is another one of those roll and writes from Stronghold Games, where it's going to play 1 to 6 players and play in about 30 minutes. And it's got a lot of color, it's got a lot of different things going on, and a lot of different ways to get points. So, we're going to go ahead, take a quick look, and then we'll come back up with our thoughts.
So everyone's gonna grab a sheet and a pen, and the dice are out in the common area, and you're ready to get started. So everyone's gonna be taking turns rolling the dice, and the active player and the passive players have three options basically. You can pass, where you don't do anything, or you can select a combination of dice, one color and one number, or you can choose the special die and take its effect. The first three turns of the game, no one takes any dice. They're available for everybody. But the fourth turn on, the active player is going to select their option of dice, and then the other people can use, the other players can use what's available. All right, so there are several things going on your sheet here. So you have different columns and rows, and each column also has points and a heart associated with it, and each row has a point and some special action associated with it. So to start crossing out boxes, you have to start in column H, and then after that, you can always start in column H, and then you have to cross off boxes that are adjacent to a box that's already been crossed off. So let's just do an example. So let's say I chose this yellow 4. So what that means is I have to start in column H, and there are 4 yellows touching. So I could do this, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, whenever you do this, you have to cross off the exact number of boxes of the number you chose. So, for instance, if I was next to a segment of just three yellows, then I couldn't have used that because it has to be exactly 4. Now, if you happen to roll a black X or a question mark, these are both wild and correspond to this down here. This is basically, you can make it to be any color, and this you can make any number. And you will be, for each time you use that, you're going to be crossing one of these off, and then you only have a limited amount of those available. And then you will also get points at the end of the game for any leftover that you did not use. So if you had chosen this special die, there are different things that you can do. So if you had the bomb, this lets you cross off a 2x2 grid anywhere, and it does not have to start in H, and it doesn't have to be next to anything adjacent. So it could literally be like in this corner, unrelated to anything. You check off 4 boxes, and it's in a 2x2 grid. And of course, if you had already had some crossed off, you just cross off whatever you can in that 2x2 grid. If you chose to do the 2 stars, then you can cross off 2 stars on your sheet, but it has to be either in column H or adjacent to something that's already been crossed off. So for this example, I could cross off this star, or this star. If you rolled and chose the heart, then you are going to circle the next heart on this heart track over here. So these are good to give you extra points for whenever you complete a column. That column you completed, you will put the latest heart circled, that number, in that heart spot on that column, and that will be points at the end of the game. So let's just say this column was filled, then I would put 1 on that column that was filled. This one lets you check off 3 boxes in a single row. Now these don't have to be adjacent to each other, but they have to be adjacent to another box that has already been checked off. So for example, I could check off this one, that's 1, I could do 2, I could even go over here and do 3. And the last on this special die is this color block. So this lets you cross off an entire color block, and it has to be touching something that's already been crossed off though. But you are allowed to fill in something completely if it's already been somewhat crossed off. So for example, this one here, I've already crossed off 1 green. I can go ahead and cross off all of these rest of the greens. Now diagonals are not considered adjacent, so that does not count. Or you can cross off an entire color block that hasn't been touched at all, as long as it's adjacent to something else. So for example, I could cross off this entire orange section. Now, whenever you decide to take the special die action, you have to cross off one of your boxes that has already been circled. So everyone starts with 1. Now, in order to use a special die again, you have to cross off another box somehow. So let's just say my next turn I was able to cross that off. Then you would circle the next one, and that gives you another available option to use the special die. So whenever someone has ended up completing a column, then you will announce it to everybody, and everybody else will cross off the first place points, but you will get the first place points. And then everybody else will have the option to get the second place points. And of course, if you have hearts circled, then you would put in the heart total there as well. And if you are the first person to finish an entire row, then you get a special bonus here, and you also get the points. Now, if somebody else were to complete the same row later on, they would not be able to get that, but they would still be able to get the points. And then over here is the color bonus. So the first person to cross off all the boxes of one particular color will circle and get the first place points, or 5. And then the second person will get the second place points. And then the game end is going to be triggered whenever someone has circled 2 different colored boxes. So at that point, everyone is going to total up their points. So you got the color bonus points from here. You have points from all of the columns that you completed from A to O, all in here. You're going to add them up, put them there. And then you've got the row points from over here, heart points from down here, points for leftover wilds you didn't use, and then points for any circled boxes that you didn't use, and negative points for any stars that have been not checked off. And then whoever has the most points is the winner. Okay, so I am awful at this game. I'm so bad at this game. But I enjoy it, even though I'm just like terrible. Like I get smoked every time we play this game. I don't know if it has to do with that spatial thing that I struggle with, but I still really enjoy playing it. I mean, I enjoy there's a handful of different ways to score points. I enjoy crossing off boxes, and I feel like I'm checking off my to-do lists.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels good.
Yeah.
What do you think about this game?
I thought it was great. I like little roll and writes like this. I like things where it's kind of a little puzzly and things like that, and kind of trying to fill in different boxes and different things. I like that there's a few different routes that you can take. There's a few different things that you can do on there, and kind of to boost your points and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good roll and write game, because some are good, some are not so good, and this one was definitely on the
it's definitely a good one for sure. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's a nice, well laid out pad there, and it's just fun. I mean, rolling dice and you're doing stuff at the same time, and it's a really good one for sure.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this game.
And I enjoy it even though I'm awful at it. I need to roll some more hearts to
make you feel better.
Yeah, make you feel better. Anyway, so yeah, that's our thoughts on Bravo. So if you enjoyed today's content, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe. And until we see you guys next time, bye.
What was that?